If you ever wondered how you get those really nice overhead shots of things like videography, unboxing videos, in today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys some tips and tricks that I've learned in the course of 3 years of perfecting the overhead shot. YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Will, back in the building with another video. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here and interested in learning some tips about content creation or interested in tech reviews, I'm your guy. Maybe consider hitting subscribe. Yo, so as I said in the intro, today I'm gonna be going over my 2 professional methods of doing overhead shots. To do an overhead shot, you can do it a number of different ways. I've tried the microphone stand way, where you get like a cheek boom arm, attach a camera to it, place it on the desk. I've also done like the mic stand method, where basically a mic stand with a boom arm, you attach the camera to it. I've also done the method where you attach the articulating arm to like an object or something out of frame and hang the camera from there. I'm gonna share with you guys my 2 best solutions for completing a dope overhead rig. The first option we want to talk about is the budget option, and this is going to be the extra tall dual monitor mount. Now you can pick this up on Amazon for $35. Don't worry, I'll leave links down in the description for everything I'm talking about in this video in case you guys want to pick it up. The reason why I really love this method is because you can set it up to be a permanent solution, or you can just attach and detach it from the desk. I just broke down the rig so you guys can actually see me build it. With this extra tall dual monitor mount, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get your clamp, which is this guy right here. This basically will clamp to your desk. You get 3 poles, which are these right here, and I have the third one still attached. The first step you're gonna do is attach this clamp together. Use the provided screws and Allen keys to attach the bottom pole. And you can notice which one is the bottom because it has like the 3 holes right here. If you notice on the bottoms of the other ones, they don't have that. And then you're gonna take the middle part and you're just gonna screw it in. Then you would take the third one, which I have attached here, but you're gonna screw it on top of here. Next thing you're gonna do is you notice that this left arm is longer than the right arm. And the reason for that is because I actually detached one of these little arms, little articulating arms, and I attached it to this side to make this a little bit longer. And the reason why I did that is so that this is where the camera will be mounted, and I wanna be able to pretty much pivoted towards the middle of this table. The reason why I say go with dual is because it's easier to attach a light to be overhead as well, all on the same mount. You know, it's gonna save you space. The next step from here is you're gonna attach this to your desk. Make the clamp as big as it can get where it can go on the table, and then you're gonna twist the knob until it's attached tightly to your desk. The next thing you're gonna do is attach the dual arm mount. You do this by simply using the provided Allen key and pretty much just sliding this in and tightening it. Now don't worry if it's not at the right position just yet. The beauty with this monitor mount is these screw holes is actually the same size as like a tripod mount. With this one right here, what I like to use is a Joby GorillaPod mount. It actually just twists right on very easily. And the reason why I like to do this is because this now provides a quick release plate. This is the quick release plate to my Joby GorillaPod, and I actually attached this to another quick release plate. This step is optional. Now, as you can see, it just slides right in and then it clicks into place. All right, so next, this is my quick release plate right here, and then now it just clamps right into the setup. So the beauty with using this monitor mount method is the whole entire arm is swivelable, so I can literally spin the camera around while it's mounted, or I can adjust it. I'm using this sweet photo LED light, and what I like about this is it takes up a small footprint and it provides a nice amount of light. When you're doing overhead shots, it's really best to have a light from up top to really cover the space that you're going to be filming, because you want the most light as possible. I really like to have like a small portable monitor so I can see like what I'm doing, but this is optional. I'm just going to attach this onto here using this C-clamp. So now let's talk about camera. In this scenario, I'm using a Sony a6400 with a Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens. This is basically equivalent to a 24mm in full frame. You want like a nice size lens that's not too wide but not too tight. A 24mm will basically give you a wide shot with less distortion on the ends. You could also use a zoom lens, but you got to be careful, because if I was to mount this lens on here and let's say I got my shot and it was somewhere right here, because of gravity it'll probably kind of like start to zoom in over time, like while I'm filming the overhead shot, and we don't want that. I kind of recommend just going with like a prom lens, unless you have a lens that has power zoom. This lens fully zoomed out at 16mm. You can still see kind of like the edges of the table. You can see the monitor mount as well. Sony cameras have something called clear image zoom, which basically means it zooms in on a sensor. I'm gonna hit this and I'm gonna zoom it in so I don't see any of the edges of this table. If you don't have that, you can actually adjust the dual monitor mount depending on how close you need to be to the table. When it comes to lighting an overhead rig, if you just have one light overhead, it's gonna cast a shadow like how you kind of see right now. The objective here is you want to light the product, but you also want to light the table so you can prevent shadows. I'm just gonna grab this light right here and I'm gonna shine it on this table here, and I have another light that's lighting me right now, and I'm gonna turn this one up as well. You can see now the shadows are reduced a little bit. I'm gonna add some more power to this light and aim it down, and now you can see the shadows are a little bit better. You don't have to have these really big lights like I have. You can use something as small as like a pocket light. So anyways, this is my product today. This is some smart lights for your TV. We're just gonna use this as an example of like an unboxing. There is a little bit of shadow here, so again, it's honestly not too bad. The key takeaway here is that you really need to get good even lighting to really sell the overhead shot and not have so many shadows. Another optional thing is going to be like a trigger or like a remote. The reason why you kind of want to do this is because if you hit record, it's going to give it a little bit of shake, kind of vibration, and the remote control basically allows you to not have to touch the camera every time you need to like start and stop record. One of the downsides to anything when it's clamped to the desk is going to be shake. So obviously if I hit this desk while this is all attached, if I do anything, the camera is going to shake, the table's going to shake, and it's going to show inside of the footage. So that's the only really downside to the table clamp method. So I just try to be as gentle as possible. I do want to add in some additional stuff that could help your product shot. Here are some backdrops that I got from off of Amazon. This kit right here gives you a few different options of kind of like patterns to stick your products on. What's cool about this is on each of these there's actually two different patterns on each side. So I could do like pink, or I could do burgundy. I got like a black one. There's like a wood one. My favorite one would probably be like this marble kind of look. So basically with this, like this, now you can see the top down shot. It just adds a little bit more character to like the shot. Now we're gonna make this top down shot even cooler by adding some RGB colors. I have these two little pocket lights right here. I'm pretty much just gonna turn these on and stick them on either side. As you can already see, it looks like it's kind of hot spots, so you kind of got to play with the amount of light to reduce like the hot spot or move it further away from the frame. So I'm just gonna like kind of open this up a little bit. I feel like I should be filming an unboxing right now. This just kind of adds a little bit more dynamic to the shot. It gives a little bit more interest with the two different colors. I'm actually make this a little bit brighter. Let's try about there. Typically when I do this, I like to have a clean slate, and as I'm explaining the products, I will insert these shots over what I'm talking about. So the RGB colors now kind of reflect off of my hands, and it just makes the shot look even cooler than just, you know, seeing the design and the product in hand. As I'm talking about the product, I will film this kind of over, and then I would insert this. So I would say, Okay, this comes with the user manual, and then for this shot I probably will just kind of show the manual like this, and I typically will like throw it, you know, like I said, it just makes it a little bit more dynamic. Let's say if I was doing it with this darker one, it's just giving it more of a dynamic shot. And to me, it just looks so good with like the colors reflecting off of my hands and also the product. Now I'm going to show you the more professional way that I do overhead shots. What we're going to use is something called a C-stand, and it's basically a heavy duty light stand with a boom arm on it. So it comes in 3 different pieces. This is the base of it, and for this you just pretty much articulate the stand out. This is the bottom part of the C-stand. It does have a grip right here. I believe this goes up to like 8 feet. Another cool thing with this is it actually has like that stopper. So like, let's say if my hand was right there, it kind of bounces back so it doesn't smash my hand, which is good because I like my hand. I'm just attaching this inside the base, and I'm gonna lock it in. Now you just attach the grip head right here to the actual stand and twist it on like so. This stand actually comes with 2 sandbags without the sand. So the first thing you're gonna do is put the long leg towards where the camera is gonna be angled. This is so you can make sure it doesn't like tip over on you. It actually comes with the same mounting for like your camera. I have another Joby Gorilla Pod quick release system. Ballhead is important for this. You'll see why in a second. Other thing important when mounting the C-stand is the way that this actual grip head is. The way that this spins like this, to lock it, I have to turn it towards the right. If I put something on this side and it's heavy, it can untighten this, and which will result in the camera falling down, and we don't want that. So when you mount this, you always want it to be the opposite way. So now you see I have this knuckle on the back side. If this is too heavy and it leans down, it's actually going to be tightening the screw versus loosening it. And then now I add another sandbag, and I add it to this side, and I like to hook it on this. So it's kind of like that. The counterweight is going to provide more stabilization. I can now attach the quick release plate to this like so. Now I can pretty much angle the camera anyway. If I didn't have this on, I would only be stuck with kind of doing it this way, which would mean that I would need it to be either in front of me or behind me in order to get like the perfect angle. But the Ballhead allows this to swivel, so now I can get it to be like a horizontal shot. This is what the shot looks like. So again, it's the same concept as far as lighting on your desk. So for this scenario, I have this screen bar right here, and this provides light on the desk. So if I want, I can add those same RGB lights to add some more color contrast over the product that we're talking about. What makes the C-stand really good, if I move the table, only the table moves, it doesn't shake the actual camera itself. The only drawback with this is you now have like an extra piece of equipment that you have to set up and break down, but this is what the shot looks like. So as you can see now, to get that same shot that I was trying to get with the 16mm Sigma lens, this is now like a 35 or like a 50, and I had to lift this up higher to get the same framing. They come out a little bit crispier, and I do like that you get more kind of separation. Key takeaways from this video: the camera lens does matter. Again, you can use a zoom lens, but I prefer to use proms. Lens choice does matter. I recommend a 16mm on a crop sensor or a 24mm on a full frame. Another reason why I like to use something like a 24mm is because the camera is pretty low. So I'm about 5'8", and it's about the same height as I am, where I can actually look inside of the camera's monitor to actually see what I'm filming. When lighting a top-down shot, you really want to reduce the shadows as much as possible. I recommend kind of about 2 or 3 lights, one directly overhead and 2 of them off to the sides to fill in the shadows. The remote trigger is again an optional thing, but I really find that useful, so that way you don't have to hit record on the camera each time and then wait for it to stop kind of like micro moving. I didn't really dress up the shots that I did today. Typically I don't like to like add other things into my top-down shots because I feel like it's gonna distract away from the top-down shot. So I'll leave links down in the description to everything I talked about in this video, from both of the overhead rigs to the texture. These will be affiliate links which cost you no additional cost, but will give me a small commission if you purchase through my links, which will be helping out my channel and giving me more resources to make videos like this. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to leave your boy a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Make sure you hit the bell so that way you get reminded every time I drop new videos just like this one. We can hang out and learn more stuff together. I'ma holla at you next week in my next video. Deuces.